Cruising can sometimes be a healthy lifestyle, but it's also super important to make exercise intentional. So how can you make exercise, intentional exercise on board, a little bit easier, even when you don't have a gym and a great big room and a lot of space at your disposal? Hi, I'm Nika Waters and welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. Today I'm talking about exercise tips, specifically 3 things you can do to make intentional exercise on board a little bit less daunting. Today's episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Northwest Explorations. Are you looking for a one-stop shop for all of your Pacific Northwest cruising needs? Northwest Explorations offers bareboat charters, guided flotillas, powerboat training, service, detailing, and brokerage. Located on the Washington coast and Vancouver Island, you're covered no matter which side of the border you're on. Visit nwexplorations.com to learn more. Though cruising has some healthy aspects to it, there are quite a few challenges to being intentional about your exercise. There's no dedicated gym room. There's no dedicated basement or even a spare bedroom where you've got your bike set up or all the rest of it. The floor that you're on, it's prone to shifting unexpectedly. Yeah, even on a catamaran, the movement when you're sailing or even at anchor can be a little bit unbalancing. And your favorite yoga classmates, they're not around to cheer you on. So how can you make fitness on board a little bit easier, even when you have to be intentional about it? The first tip that I have for you is using a yoga mat. Use a yoga mat to delineate your space. You roll out that mat, and it's your own exercise space. You can use that mat on a side deck, on the foredeck, down below, in the cockpit. You can take it to the beach. You can use it on the dock. But that yoga mat signals an intention, and it's the space that you have. It also shows you that you can do an awful lot in a pretty small space because you can get a lot of workout done on that yoga mat space. The other thing that a yoga mat does that's super helpful when you're maybe not as balanced or don't have, maybe your floor is not as non-skid as you want it to be, is that it's a great way to give your feet some grip when you're either walking, high-stepping, doing yoga, whatever your moves are that you're doing. It's a fantastic way to do it. So number 1, use a yoga mat and make that your exercise space. It's yours. You roll it out. You have the intention of doing the workout. Don't leave it laid out all the time, which you can't on the boat anyway. So there you go. Roll out your mat. Poof, instant gym room. The second thing, sometimes it's challenging about being on the boat because your boat's moving all the time. It's moving at anchor. It's moving underway. How do you deal with that? Your balance and your flexibility may be things that you want to work on because those are very important in terms of functional fitness on board. But tip number 2 is to keep your center of gravity low and also use level changes. If you've been in any of my classes at Cruisers U, you've heard me say that over and over again. Level changes are a great way to get in a workout. And you can actually get in a killer workout in a very, very small space just by moving from plank to elbow plank to pike, which is like down dog. From sitting in the settee or the cockpit bench to sitting on the cabin sole to standing up to sitting back down to lying down to standing up to sitting down. You get the idea. And if you want to make it cardio, you speed up the changes that you go from even just going from plank, which is like a push-up position, to elbow plank, which is that push-up position but on your elbows, and back up. That's a major exercise workout right there, keeping your center of gravity very, very low. The other thing with keeping your center of gravity low is that you're probably not going to be jumping. And so what you can do, if you're not going to be jumping and you feel like you need to jump, well, so you leave one leg on the ground and you pick the other one, go high knees. Make your high knee go way up, like level with your chest. And you can substitute a lot of impact jumping with just lifting your knees and lifting your legs quite high. And the third challenge about being, and there are lots and lots of challenges, don't get me wrong. It's not just that there are 3 challenges to working out intentionally on board, but the 3 that I've talked about in here and the 3 that I want to address. The third one is if you're missing your workout buddies. And on land, you loved going to the gym and the classes that they had, in part because the people who were in the class with you would start looking for you and encourage you to go. It was a motivation buddy. So the third tip that I would say for you is figure out what motivates you and replicate it on the boat. So if you're one who loves to keep a track record going and you're motivated by seeing a visual reminder of things that you've done every day, so set up a calendar, make a calendar and cross off the days that you exercise and beat your streak. There probably are apps that you can get for your phone that will tell you if you've gone a number of days in a row and try to beat that. If you know that you are much better when somebody's telling you what to do, like at a class, you can take workout videos with you. You can download them. There are apps and there are YouTube channels that do that. You can pay to have workout videos available to you. I'm a Beachbody coach and you certainly can get in touch with me. I've got lots of ideas for you and can help you find a program that'll work just right. If you know that following somebody else's program is going to help you more than creating your own kind of a workout, keep that going even on the boat. If you know that you do best when you have somebody to do things with in person, well, this is a great time to go around to the anchorage and knock on people's boats or call on the VHF and ask anchorage neighbors to go running or dancing or yogaing or swimming with you. Set a date, a time. Let's meet at the beach at 2:00 and we're going to go for a walk and find that, go up the trail to the hike at the top of the hill right there. You can also set up a Zoom session with your buddies back home. You could say, okay, best friend from wherever you're from, I would like to want to work out at 6:00 tonight, and you each can do it together you can do your own thing together, but you're on the Zoom call together. So figure out what motivates you and what helps keep you accountable and replicate it on the boat. There's a lot more to think about, of course, when it comes to working out on board. But some things to remember are that you do have the space, that you actually can get a sweat on, even if the boat's bouncing all over the place, and that there are ways to keep yourself accountable, even if they're not quite the way you were used to doing it on land. Those will go a long way to giving you a way to get started, to stay functionally fit and intentionally worked out on the boat. I can't wait to share an anchorage with you. Are we going to go for a beach walk? Are we going to get together on my boat or yours and do a workout? Are we going to paddleboard together? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to sharing an anchorage with you and figuring it out with you. Thank you so much for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. Don't forget to subscribe in your favorite podcast app. Have the most spectacular week.